Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another GT7 video. Now this one's going to be a little bit different. Usually I'm very kind of single player focused, however I just could not ignore this one. It's absolutely hilarious. So today's video is actually going to be based around GT Sport mode. Now what happened was essentially Daily Race B appeared as usual on the Monday. Now usually this is nothing different, you know, a race will appear and it'll just stay up for a week. However, come at the afternoon of Tuesday, this event was gone and very quickly replaced, and for one good reason. So the original Daily Race B actually took place at Lake Maggiore. Now this is nothing kind of special, it's a well-known track since GT Sport and it took place on the West Circuit. So I believe this is a new layout for GT7 if I'm correct on that one, and it's actually a really fun layout. It's the gameplay you're obviously seeing in the background. It's really enjoyable to drive. In my opinion it's better than the full circuit. I think the full circuit just kind of goes on a little bit too long and doesn't really kind of have much to it. But anyway, that's just my opinion on it. So essentially what was happening, people were jumping in this event and essentially teleporting themselves across the circuit right to the finish line and then just driving across onto the next lap. Now, including with this was actually the fact that people's qualifying times were around about 10 to 15 seconds faster than someone just doing a standard lap. And a lot of people couldn't figure out why. However, the reason obviously soon came out, and obviously, you know, Polyphony were very quick on this one. So within, you know, just over 24 hours of this event being up, it was gone again. Hence why I've actually not got footage for it. I actually didn't take part in any of the races. I was actually working that day. So yeah, pretty frustrating that I didn't actually get to experience it firsthand. But it does still work across the board. So let me show you exactly what happens. So we're going to head over to Europe and we're going to go to the obviously Lake Maggiore circuit. We're going to go onto arcade race, and it's this one right over here that was causing the troubles. It's the West circuit, not the West End. So I'm just going to pick my difficulty and all that, and we're going to get straight into it. As you can see, we are basically using an LMP1 car, which is probably not the best representation because the cars are so quick and the gap won't be as huge, but I'm going to take you around my first lap. So we're just going to be doing the race as normal. Obviously we're going to just, you know, drive around with the AI and you know, just get on with the usual things, doing all the overtakes and such, and it's going to pass the lap by quite quick. It's not the full layout, it's quite, you know, pretty much chopped in half. So it does make for a pretty easy drive around. Very, you know, obviously quick lap. So we're going to come up to this really awkward right-hander here that sort of loops around on itself, really kind of off camber, and then you're going to start carrying on. Now you're going to see a bit of a pit lane here, so you can see the entry just there. What you're looking for is actually the exit. So if you just come over here and then up to this little line and essentially just stop dead and wait a few seconds, and yeah, you're going to pretty much see what happens. So we just left the car still, and all of a sudden we're back at the start finish straight, way ahead of the AI, in first place and able to go on to lap 2. So that's literally what people were doing. We're essentially just pulling up mid-race, all of a sudden really slowing down, and then essentially just stopping, waiting, and getting around about a 10-second gap. As you can see on lap 2, we're going to do it exactly again. So here we go. Again, we've just teleported, and we're going to go on to lap 3. And then I'll show you one last time on the final lap, just because it puts you right near the finish. And then you'll actually see the gap even in LMP1 cars. So imagine this gap, but much bigger. Obviously the Group 4 cars can't really turn as fast or go as quick, so the gaps were just absolutely humongous in comparison to, you know, realistic lap times. It's around about 10 to 15 seconds a lap people were actually saving doing this. You know, we had a fastest lap of a 1:05 as well as a 22-second gap over P2, so it's just absolutely ridiculous and so overpowered. So all of this essentially resulted in Polyphony essentially changing Daily Race B to now the Red Bull Ring short track. So they were very quick on this. It was just over 24 hours before they changed it around. Now you actually might be thinking, well, there's a circuit experience and the most kind of annoying ever event, the 1 hour Lake Maggiore, does take place on this track. Different layouts, but they still take place. So does it work? Well, let's find out with the circuit experience at first. Obviously, this takes place on the full layout, and you'd probably assume with, the fact that you go to the same place, it'd actually just teleport you there again. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. Obviously, we're going to be using the Alfa Romeo 4C, and if you haven't done this already, it should realistically make this a much easier challenge. So I went actually backwards at first to see if I could get round to the place much quicker, because obviously we'd already started the lap when we went over the line. Now we're going to sit and wait. We're going to obviously then jump straight to the finish line, but sadly it actually just allows me to go straight across. So you're going to see me essentially go straight up to the line, and within a minute, realistically, it should have ended it there. Obviously we did start the lap, and although we were driven backwards, it essentially, finished us off at the straight, but now sadly we couldn't get that to work. So then I actually tried a different way. I wanted to see if different parts of the track could teleport you to, well, different places. So this one here, you're going to see me essentially approach the entry to the pit lane. So instead of going all the way to the other side, we're going to essentially do the lap as normal, pull up to the rear end of the, essentially the entry of the pit lane, and you're going to see that it actually does teleport us, in a standard way. However, doing it this way, yeah, you're going to see what's happening. We go across the line, but we do get a 26 seconds penalty. So as you can see, it's just not worked. It's not even finished a lap, so it doesn't work that way. And I did try the normal way as well with the usual warp spot, and I just couldn't get it working for the life of me. Just a quick note though on the actual circuit experience, I have seen people actually getting it to work. I don't know why it wouldn't work for me. I don't know if it's because I've already completed it. I don't know if it's just kind of working for those that haven't completed it. But as soon as I went over the line, it'd carry the lap on as usual. Now I don't know if this is because Polyphony's actually, gone and done a quick hot fix, so that if you do the warp glitch, for now, instead, as it doesn't reset you properly, it just continues your lap as usual. So no matter which way I tried it, at least I could not get it to work. So just let me know if you can get it to work. It should be a pretty quick and easy way to get around about 1 million credits for the circuit experience, obviously if you've not already done it. So just that as a side note. However, the most notorious mission challenge actually takes place at Lake Maggiore. So we're going to go down here to the human comedy, and we're going to go all the way over to this, obviously the Lake Maggiore one. We're going to enter it and actually, obviously pick a car and stuff. But what this event actually is a 1 hour race. Now, it's notorious for the AI being overly aggressive, the difficulty being kind of bugged and glitched on it, to the point where a lot of people still haven't completed this after around about like 6 or 7 months of it being in the game. Now, I've already done it, so it's going to actually be pointless for me to do the whole thing. But as you can see, we've just started off as usual. Now, what I was actually expecting, because I tried this after the circuit experience, was for me to essentially go around, do the lap as usual, do the teleportation, and it essentially not count my lap. Obviously, I was going off of just using the trying the circuit experience version out, with it obviously not working for me there. I'd assume maybe that it got a quick hot fix in for this, but yeah, it actually turns out this one isn't fixed, or at least at the time of making this video. So what you're going to see here is obviously I get up to the usual part of the track, and I'm going to go to exactly where people were doing this in Daily Race B. We're going to pull up over to the right hand side, and we're going to do the usual stop. Now it does take a few seconds, like I've said. It feels like it takes an eternity. Eventually it will actually just teleport you, and as you can see, it's put us back on the start finish straight just before the actual start finish line. Now as you can see, we've got quite a bit of a gap to the AI, who are notoriously fast, and on our opening lap we've done a 1:56.531. Now the usual target, I believe, for lap times, if I remember rightly, for this is around about anywhere from a 1:57 to a 2 minutes, and you need to hit that consistently. Now to do a 1:56 on an opening lap is, well, pretty good. So as you can see, it's already gave us the start. We've saved a bunch of tyres by not having to hit out some of those final corners, which really do take quite a bit of tyre wear. They're quite quick. Then yeah, it does actually put you on lap 2 and puts you in first place, and you will stay there. So I'm just going to quickly show you myself doing it on lap 2 as well, just to prove that it does actually work. So it'll take me straight over to lap 3. The AI is going past, but we're going to stop and wait, and eventually we're just going to teleport to the start finish straight, and then as soon as we go over the line, you'll see we'll go on to lap 3. So it does actually help you be around about probably at least 6 seconds faster than the AI actually is. So yeah, I'd still recommend doing the same usual strategy to get this to work in terms of like your pitting and stuff, but it does work. So if you haven't done the Lake Maggiore 1 hour yet, because it's extremely, you know, difficult, go ahead and do it now. So that's going to be the notorious Daily Race B Lake Maggiore glitch. Obviously, it's pretty crazy. There's probably plenty more on different tracks. I might actually go around and test some and make a few videos on them if I can find them. I found this one of the more enjoyable glitches, you know, in terms of single player and stuff, because it really does help out, you know, in terms of some of the harder events. And it's just quite funny to impress your friends if they don't know about it and all of a sudden you're teleporting in front of them. It's just a whole heap of fun. But I do want to say a big thank you to Polyphony for actually being so quick to get this out of the game in terms of, you know, sport mode. I could see people, you know, possibly boosting their ranking and stuff by doing this, you know, a placing where they shouldn't be. So I am glad they got rid of it from sport mode. But in single player, it's a quirky little glitch, and I hope they do keep it in. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it from me today. Check out all the description for links and stuff. Yeah, take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.